Hey guys, Sean C. Phillips here with another DVD Blu-ray Tuesday shopping video, and my dad Herb's along because we're going to your favorite place, the dentist.
Oh, I hate
Yes, and we're always scheduled. It ends up being on Tuesdays, so we end up going along together.
No.
And I know, and they do the worst picking at the teeth. It's always a total nightmare.
Oh, she's an S&M bondage woman.
No,
for
I know.
Sure.
No, she's always like dating younger men. She always tells you all of her stories.
Oh, I know. I hear all of the stories, and I'm sort of a captive audience.
Yes, and I think she really enjoys telling them.
Literally captive.
Yes, but we're going to go out today. There's a lot of different exclusive. I think there's an exclusive edition of like E.T. that came out today. I think that there's like exclusive editions of Mummy, so we're going to look at all those different ones. And then at the end of this video is going to be some new DVD and Blu-ray reviews. But are you ready to get going and see what we can find today?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
All right, so let's go. Into Target we go. And over here today, one of the big things that came out was Mummy, and they have this exclusive Steelbook one in here for Mummy, the collectible Steelbook packaging one. And a pretty cool Steelbook one on this. It's always weird how some of these ones, they put these things, you know, these not stealing things on the front of them. Isn't this weird how, like, they put it on some of them and then not others?
Yeah, I know.
I guess it's so no one opens them up. But then the 4K one here is $29.99. That Steelbook is $22.99. So it's the same price for the regular Blu-ray. A lot of people didn't love this movie. To be 100% honest though, I kind of liked it. I mean, it's like not a perfect movie or anything, but I thought it was kind of a fun movie. But other than that though, over here in the kids area over here, they have E.T. and they have one left of these. They have E.T. and this is they have a Steelbook as well for that, the exclusive Steelbook packaging of this. And the 4K one of that released today as well. And I'm going to have a review of that one at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that at the end. And the 4K one is $26.99, and the Steelbook one, and this is the same disc from 2012 or 2013, but it's just in the new Steelbook one, as well as they have the DVD edition here. That's kind of a cool cover though on the standard DVD one. And this is the other one that released today, Captain Underpants, which I do not know much at all about this one. If you guys have seen this one, let me know if this one's any good at all. Kind of like the last one that Fox released, I kind of liked was that Boss Baby movie. It's kind of much more fun than I thought it was going to be. But if you guys have seen this one, I know it's based on like a book series or something, but if you guys have seen this one though, let me know how this one is. Over here in the Halloween section, they have like these things that are like true like furry heads. Yeah, these are really, and they're like $30.
That's
Panda
really cool.
head, but these definitely.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, but look at this one of the Beast. Yeah. Like there's definitely some weirder.
No, I want the furry head.
No, and this one, the mouth opens up on. That seems to be like the new thing.
Yeah, the mouth.
These opening mouth ones.
That's cool.
That's kind of cool. These are definitely seem to be the new thing this year. I like that thing, how you can control the mouth like that. And look at this one. These are kind of cool, like giant pizza slice costume things here, and this giant wiener.
Oh yeah,
that's a really
about my wiener.
Yeah, that's asked me about my wiener, and the taco one here.
What is that for a kid? Look, you can go.
Oh yeah,
it's
little
like
kid. You can be a
wiener.
little wiener, and then the dad wiener, and then the cheeseburger. These are really weird ones. Into the Dollar Tree we go. Yeah, and I've seen some pictures and videos and stuff that the Dollar Tree has the dollar DVDs and Blu-rays back again. It looks like they've got some better stuff this time, so let's see if they got any here. And it looks like they got in all the ones in here. They have some of the ones that I wanted to try and get. Like I didn't get this one before, Longest Ride. And this was actually an okay movie. It's nothing like amazing, but for $1, it's actually a pretty decent price for that. And this is another one that luckily enough I never bought, Shark Night. And this was actually kind of a fun killer shark movie. It wasn't like another one that wasn't amazing, but I always liked Sarah Paxton. This is definitely one that I wanted to get. So luckily enough, the first dollar store I went to has all this. This one I already have, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. It's another one. This is a really good price for this one. Some of the other ones in here, I think this is a different cover. Oh no, the same cover on all. They have this cover one, and then this color one of cover one of Walter Mitty in here. But this looks like these are the main Blu-rays they have in here. And this is another one. This is a pretty good movie with Elijah Wood called Grand Piano. And Alex Winter, this was like the first movie that he came back and acted in front of the camera in years. But this is another one. I have that one already. But luckily enough, though, these were the two main ones I wanted to try and get. I don't know what this one is. And then they have just some DVD ones like Take Me Home Tonight. Oh, here's one other they have in here, Enough Said. And this is another one that was pretty good. I have this one as well already, The Double. You don't hear people talk about this too much. This is a really weird, trippy movie here. But definitely check the Dollar Trees. It seems like like I said, they definitely have gotten in some better Blu-ray titles this time around. Yeah, but I got those 2 ones in there. Like I said, these were the 2 main ones I was trying to find, so luckily enough they had them in there. Into Walmart we go. And in here today, like I said, Captain Underpants came out, but the big thing, was Mummy. And they have this interesting one here. This is like a virtual reality edition here.
It's a 4K.
It's like a 4K one, but it has like some kind of a thing you can fold out, I guess, to put over your phone to watch it like in virtual reality, 30 minutes of bonus content. It's kind of a weird release here. And that one's $26.96 for the 4K one. And then they have like a exclusive cover here for this one as well, and this has 30 minutes of bonus content as well. Yeah, this
you should promote your friend.
Yeah, Danny Trejo,
there he is.
Dead
Look
Again
at
a Tombstone.
With Jake Busey.
Yeah, Jake Busey was in the Dead Ant one too.
That's great.
And then this is the regular edition of Mummy though, and this is like their exclusive cover. And other than that, in here today, this one, you saw this one? Did you see this or no? You didn't see It Comes at Night? No. That was kind of interesting. It was like sort of more. It was like billed more as a horror movie, but it's much more of like a creepy kind of thriller type.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, it was not a bad one.
I like that guy.
And then, other than that though, Drone Wars came out today. This one that I talked about a little while ago, The Hatred, which has Andrew Duvall from the Wishmaster films as this crazy father, this like Nazi who was hiding out and had this like Nazi amulet, and like he killed his daughter, and then these people moved into the house years later and they were haunting it. And then this one, you watched this. This was a real gloom and doomy one. Beatrice at dinner. But I like that. The director too directed Chuck and Buck, which is like an amazing movie.
I like John McDonald.
And this one was not amazing. This fun mom dinner. Like I like the people in it, but just didn't absolutely love this one. I love the one friend though, because she's in that movie Patty Cakes. It was a really pretty fun movie.
Patty Cakes.
Yeah. But over here, though, one of the ones that came out last week, you said you really liked, if they still have it over here. I don't think they have it anymore, that Raw. It looks like
I bet they don't.
Looks like that's sold out.
Somebody went home and watched that.
Yeah, that you said, though, that was...
get that out of here.
Yeah, but
that was great.
Yeah.
I mean, it was enough for everybody.
Yeah, look, it's gone. I think it was. I think here's where it was. Maybe they got rid of it, or sold out in here. But that, like you said, I still have to watch it.
That was a really cool movie.
And the movies I saw this past weekend, the big one that I saw was It. And thanks to everyone who left all the positive comments on the It spoof and parody. If you guys haven't seen that one though, I'll put the link below for that one. But I really liked It, and you loved the original TV one, didn't you?
I did.
I know.
I really did.
You've definitely got to see that one. I feel like that was just a really, really cool movie.
I will go.
But the other one I saw was the Reese Witherspoon movie Home Again. And I was telling you, people say I don't not like something. That movie, though, I really did not like that movie. That movie was not... Oh, you avoided that one like the plague.
I set that one out.
Yeah, that was definitely a good choice sitting that one out. And it's like Reese Witherspoon, like her character just turned 40, and she goes to a bar and meets this guy who's in his like early 20s with his friends, and she starts to kind of like date him and lets the guy stay in her house because she moved back home because she broke up with her husband, and she's living back in her old dad's house who's like this famous actor.
Sounds kind of sad.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, and like these weird guys are in the house while they're trying to like get their, script ready for Hollywood and stuff, and I don't know, it's just kind of weird and a little cringy, and
she was so good in Election.
Yeah, Election was like her best movie. That was like an amazing movie.
I know.
But just
I don't want to see her.
No. And the other one I saw was the 9/11 movie, which I knew going into that was going to be really, really sad, and it was.
You came home, you were like, it was kind of a downer. Oh yeah, no crap.
I know. It was just really depressing.
You know what happened?
Like, I remember the last time I saw that one, it was about 9/11, the United 93, I think it was, that about the plane. I remember when I saw that in the theaters, I went in the bathroom and cried for like 20 minutes straight. Like, it got me so bad. Like, that's another one of those movies, 9/11 is on the list with that, the Twin Towers one, that are movies you're never going to watch again in your entire life. They're just too depressing.
I'm surprised they made it.
I know, it wasn't weird.
I mean, they've done it once.
Yeah.
But
this was them stuck in the elevator, characters who were in the elevator during it, and Whoopi Goldberg is trying to help them get out, and it's all. But Charlie Sheen was like the star of this.
Well, that's an interesting.
And it was
idea.
that's kind of why I was interested in seeing it, because it was like him doing like a real heavy drama, and
so could he do it? I mean,
he was decent for the most part, but then some of it was like a little over the top, and you could tell he wasn't totally comfortable with it. But I really loved Luis Guzman in it. Luis Guzman was the star of it. Yeah, and he was the star of it in the elevator too.
And he like dates somebody really young.
Rosario Dawson.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was with, I don't know if she's still with him, but she was with him for quite a while.
Oh man, what a combination.
I know. But let me know if you guys saw any of those movies below. And next week though is Mother, which I'm kind of interested in that.
Yeah, me too.
I see some mixed opinions about that, like it's a slow burn, but I kind of know that's what it's going to be. But let me know though what you guys thought of it, if you saw any of those ones, or what movies you checked out this past weekend. Into Best Buy we go. Yeah, and here today, like, they have the Captain Underpants, like I said, and this is one that came out. This was like an exclusive to Best Buy one, the exclusive 4K of Zero Dark 30. I think that's exclusive till like December, so that's pretty cool. That's $19.99 for that one. And over here, these are pretty cool. These came out. These are only at Best Buy ones. These exclusive Steelbook things here of like the Universal Monsters. Like they have one for Dracula. They have one of Creature from the Black Lagoon here. These are really cool artwork on these ones. Hard to put them back, but the one here for Frankenstein, one for the Wolfman, the Invisible Man, Bride of Frankenstein, and the Mummy. So these are definitely really cool, exclusive. Yeah, there are Steelbook ones here. It's Alex Ross did the artwork for these, but definitely cool ones, and they all seem to be $17.99 for these ones. And then like their Mummy here is $24.99 for the 4K one. I think there was some kind of an exclusive one. Oh yeah, here's the exclusive one they have. This one has a collectible packaging with amulet, like a graphic novel in this one, so that's pretty cool. That one's $24.99 for the exclusive edition of the Mummy here. And there's something over here about like own your own cape or something for this Captain Underpants, like say own your own capes while supplies last, but I don't see anything here with the cape. This is one of the other things that came out today, the 4K edition here of, all the Purge movies, the Purge trilogy in here. So these are the first time these have all been released on I don't think they've been released on 4K separately, so I'm pretty sure this is the only way you can get them. But that's, $59.99 for that one. And I don't think there's any exclusive 4K ones for the Mummy. It seems like the exclusive one, like I showed in the front, is only with the standard Blu-ray one, but I don't see any of those cape things in here though. I don't know where those were, because they definitely weren't. Maybe they're actually inside of it. Yeah. So I guess that maybe that's like a standard one you get everywhere. I don't think that's actually an exclusive Best Buy one for that. And over here too, this is a new thing that came out too. I guess this is brand new. Is this like a Blu-ray collection here of Psycho 1, 2, 3, and 4? That's kind of interesting because, like, Shout Factory released, 2 through 4. So I don't know if this is the Shout Factory discs inside of here, because it doesn't show Shout Factory at all on here. So that's an interesting thing. If you guys know about that, let me know. That's an interesting set. It's $30 for all those together like that. And like this one, like I showed at the other store, Drone Wars came out, and they have, E.T., and they actually have Reese's Pieces by it. And then this is, I think, one of the limited edition one. I don't think this is exclusive to Best Buy, though, of E.T. with a lenticular cover here. And that comes with, I think I saw one that came with, CD soundtrack is included in this one. So that's a cool addition here of that one as well. But this one is definitely an interesting set here. Let me know what you guys know about this one. I have those ones already, but still an interesting one if you guys don't have all of the Psycho movies together on Blu-ray. Oh yeah, and then these ones came out today too. The Goldberg Season 3 and Season 4. I'm going to have a review of these ones soon. This is another show that released as well. Big Bang Theory, the complete 10th season was today. And this show, This Is Us. I believe this one's only on DVD. I watched some of this show at the gym. It's actually a pretty decent show, though. It's like an interesting too. At first I didn't know what was going on because it cuts back and forth, because it's like the characters when they're young and then the characters when they're older. But other than that, though, I think that's all the main TV stuff today. So that's all for this DVD Blu-ray Tuesday shopping video today. Like I always say, if you guys enjoyed these videos, definitely give this video a thumbs up. Now stay tuned for some new DVDs and Blu-rays which I received a review and talk about for you guys. Also, I forgot to mention too, this Saturday I'm going to be at the Monsterpalooza convention in Burbank. So if you guys see me there, though, don't be afraid to say hello. But anyway, though, now stay tuned for some reviews. And the first one I got from Arrow Video is a movie called The Ghoul. It's a really pretty interesting movie. It's one of those movies, too, where it kind of like, you kind of think you know what's going on in it, and then it kind of flips around and kind of changes it, and there's a whole lots of twists and stuff in this movie, and it's like you think you have one idea what's going on, and then you're like, wait a minute, what's happening here? It's basically, though, about this police detective who goes to this crime scene where this woman was murdered in this apartment complex, kind of like duplex kind of place, and he goes there, and he's kind of questioning, like, what had happened, and there's this really kind of weird, like, building manager at the building, you know, who's there, and he's kind of talking to him, and the guy kind of vanishes, and they want to kind of question him more because they feel like maybe he had something to do with his murder, and then they find out that he's like gone totally missing, and they're like kind of investigating this guy, and found out that he's going to this therapist, and was going to this therapist, and like talking about his disorders and stuff, and you know, the police detective comes up with the idea of wanting to go to this therapist's office and go undercover and act like he has all these conditions and kind of make up all this stuff, so he can go in there and then try and steal the files on this guy who was the tenant and see if he can kind of figure out, you know, what this guy was talking about, and you know, if he was actually involved in this. He could be involved in other murders, and it's basically him going there kind of acting like he's nuts. But then when he gets there, he starts kind of like really like getting into the whole thing, and then you're kind of wondering, is this guy, you know, it kind of flops around all the time and changes what you think is going on. You're like, wait a minute, is this guy nuts? Like, what is going on here? Because then he says something and it makes you wonder, like, about him. Because I can't say too much about this movie, but a pretty interesting kind of movie. You know, a police detective, thriller type film here, but like really changes around what you kind of think is going on. It has on here though a commentary track on here with the director, as well as a making of, as well as a short film on here as well as inside of here it has a booklet with, you know, some pictures and stuff like that about the film itself. But a pretty cool, interesting movie here. The next one here from Arrow's Academy line, it's a movie called The Big Knife, which is a really early Jack Palance film. It also has Rod Steiger in it and Shelley Winters. You know, I always think of Jack Palance, you know, from the City Slickers films, and then he was in that movie like Alone in the Dark, I think that was, or Fear of the Dark. I think it was Alone in the Dark, that movie from like 1980. But he was in a bunch of different horror movies and stuff. But the City Slicker movies are the ones that I always think of him for. I've never seen, you know, until this one, a really early film with him, and this movie is basically him playing a like really successful Hollywood actor who's, you know, like doing really, really well. And it's during the time too when actors would kind of sign contracts with studios, and he would kind of, you know, only work in the studios, you know, like if MGM produced the movie, he would only be in films for MGM. And he's at the point where he's getting ready to negotiate his new contract, and his wife is like, you know, I don't want you to sign again with them. I want you to try, and you can do bigger things without them, and you need to not sign. But then it turns into this whole thing with like the studio, and there's something that, you know, Jack Palance is kind of being forced into it for one reason or another to kind of stay with them, because then something's going to happen. It's like, it's all this kind of like stuff. It was originally a play, so the movie kind of plays out like a play. It has that kind of feel to it. All like a majority of it is in one setting in his house and stuff for the most part of this one, but a pretty interesting and very different role for Jack Palance, you know, playing like this kind of like Hollywood leading man type. But it has on here a brand new 2K transfer on here, as well as a commentary track on here with film critics. You know, but this is actually, and it also has on here some television promos as well, hosted by Jack Palance. But a pretty interesting movie here. And inside though, there's, you know, a booklet with some pictures and stuff like that about the movie. But one, like I said, that it was like one I had never heard of before. It was cool too to see a really early Jack Palance film. And the last one here is one that you guys know is available. It's an early, this is from Arrow as well, an early Mario Bava film. And I never knew that he did these kind of films, because I always thought of him more for horror movies. But this is a movie that he did called Erik the Conqueror. And it was a kind of a Viking type thing about these two brothers, and one was raised by one, you know, kind of got separated, and it's kind of them going and, you know, reconnecting and kind of fighting one another, you know, for the land and stuff. And it's like all this like real bloody kind of Viking battle type movie. But it was like a really different, you know, Mario Bava thing as opposed to the ones that I had seen. This has in here a DVD and a Blu-ray, as well as in here a booklet with some facts about the movie and pictures and stuff as well. But just want to let you guys know this one is available, and it has on here a brand new 2K transfer of the movie as well as an interview on here with Cameron Mitchell, like an audio interview with Cameron Mitchell. And Cameron Mitchell was in a lot of Western movies, and I think of him from one movie that I really hope one day comes to Blu-ray called Memorial Valley Massacre. It's not a great movie at all, but I've always loved that movie just because it's so ridiculous, and he was like kind of like, I think he was a cop or like a ranger in that movie. The next one here from Universal, and this is really cool, this is the 4K release of E.T. So I'm really hoping too, since they're, Universal starting to do a lot of catalog titles now, I'm really hoping that they do down the line Back to the Future. That would be one, like the series of them. That would be really cool to have all them on 4K. The movie though looks absolutely amazing in 4K. Definitely is a huge improvement to see this movie in 4K. It has in here though the Blu-ray that came out, I think it was from 2012, the original Blu-ray, and then the 4K edition in here. But the big thing I always say too with 4K is the HDR, the high dynamic range, which is the contrast levels, and that's really where these films benefit, because E.T. was always too a very dark film, because a lot of it was set at night, a lot of stuff outside in the woods and stuff like that. So the movie definitely benefits from this because it also brightens up the levels of the movie. If you guys don't know the film E.T. though, it's about this alien that comes down to Earth, and he ends up meeting Elliot, and it's Elliot kind of trying to hide E.T. out from his family, and it's like him with his sister played by Drew Barrymore, and it's kind of him trying to help E.T. get back to his planet. And if you guys know the movie, all kinds of problems goes along with the government and everything. Just a really, really fun movie. Always love this movie. It's hard to believe now too, the movie is 35 years old now, but it has on here all the original features from the past release, like deleted scenes, Steven Spielberg looking back at the film, the 20th anniversary premiere, a whole lot of different stuff on here. All the features though are on the the Blu-ray disc itself though. Next one here is some 4K releases from Fox, and the first one here, and I saw this one in theaters as well. I thought this was actually kind of a fun movie. It's kind of has like some mixed opinions and stuff, but I always like these kind of like in the woods kind of travel kind of movies with problems happening. And it's a movie starring Amy Schumer and Goldie Hawn, Snatched, and this is the 4K release of that one. This is basically, though, Amy Schumer ends up getting dumped from, her boyfriend. They're getting ready to go on this trip together, and she doesn't want to cancel the trip, so her mother ends up going with her. So it's kind of her having this trip with the mother, and she's all kind of gloomy about it, but she's like trying to kind of have fun. And they go out there. I forget exactly where they go to. I think it was like somewhere in South America. I can't remember exactly where the location was, but they end up going out there, and Amy Schumer meets this guy, and they go on this kind of around and see like the sights and stuff. Of course, though, they end up finding that themselves kidnapped by these bad guys. Amy Schumer and her mother, and they're kind of trapped out in the jungle, and they're trying to escape and get away. And it's kind of them having all these kind of like ridiculous encounters and all kinds of problems out there. Wanda Sykes is in this movie as well. I thought she was really funny. Like her with Joan Cusack, her and Joan Cusack's character, like their stuff too was some of the funniest stuff in this movie. And then her brother too, Amy Schumer kept calling her, her brother, because she found out that they were kidnapped, and he was trying to help her, and then like she kept on calling the FBI, and there was all these weird banters between him and the FBI guy about him yelling at him and stuff. I don't know. I just thought this was actually kind of fun movie. It's nothing amazing or anything. 4K though, movie, a lot of this was all set in the jungle, so it has like a lot of outside settings and stuff in the jungle and stuff. I don't know. I feel like it's not one of those movies that you have to have in 4K, but definitely is an improvement if you have 4K. Has on here though deleted scenes, as well as a gag reel and extended and alternate scenes on here. The next one here, this one though definitely looks great on 4K. This is the 4K edition of Alien Covenant, and this is a movie a lot of people had asked me about too, and I saw this in theaters as well. And this is this is the follow-up to Prometheus, and this is another one that has had some really mixed opinions. And I think some people are kind of upset too, because I think they kind of thought this was going to be like the exact prequel to Alien, but there's technically going to be, if they still do them, from what I've heard, 2 more films, and then they eventually lead into the actual prequel to Alien itself. But this is basically takes place about the ship that ends up having to crash land on where the Prometheus ship crash landed, if you guys know the first movie. And it's basically though them there trying to get off of there, and it's you know, it's Michael Fassbender's character who's still there on the planet, and he's kind of up to no good doing these weird experiments and stuff on the planet. And then all the kind of crew has to try and get back. The other crew is up there while they got sent down because, you know, they had like a signal that had them down there to see if they can find a survivor. And it's kind of basically just them on the planet. Kind of has the feel to Aliens a little bit to me, that kind of vibe to this. I thought the aliens, though, were actually pretty cool in this. It takes a little while to get to the aliens part where the movie really picks up. But I thought it was actually kind of a fun movie. To me, though, to be totally honest, I actually always like all the Alien movies. Even the Alien movies that people give so much problems about, like Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection. Even Alien vs. Predator, I liked aspects of it. I didn't like Alien vs. Predator Requiem. I thought that one was kind of a mess. But Alien vs. Predator, I really did like. So I've kind of, like I said, always liked all the Aliens films. I thought they were kind of one of my favorite series of films. And I always liked these kind of settings and in space and stuff. And also, who else was in this? It was kind of different. You know, Danny McBride. It was kind of interesting to see Danny McBride in this too, kind of playing a more serious type role. 4K though, you know, this movie is really dark, a lot of night scenes and stuff. Definitely benefits from, you know, the boost to the contrast levels and the brightness levels, and just overall a cool movie. Not perfect by any sense though, but still I really did like this. Has on here though, audio commentary on here, deleted and extended scenes on this one, but definitely, like I said, let me know below, you know, what you guys thought of that film as well. And the next one I got from Fox as well, and I had not seen any other films in this series, but I really wanted to see this because Alicia Silverstone was in this playing the mother, and the actor who plays the father was from those, you know, the film Dead Men on Campus. He was in a bunch of other stuff, but I always think of him from that film. This is Diary of the Wimpy Kid, The Long Haul, and I don't know, I like this because I like these kind of road movies. On these movies like on the road, like National Lampoon's Vacation, Johnson's Family Vacation, RV, like anything that's like a road movie with problems happening, I always kind of like them. And this is about the family getting together to go to the one grandmother's 90th birthday party, but the one kid wants to end up going to this video game convention on the way because he wants to try and film this one guy who's really popular on YouTube and kind of film, you know, like a video with him to hopefully like kind of get viral with it so the kids at school like think he's cool. So it's kind of him and his brother trying to plan how they're going to scheme this to work, why they can kind of like trick the parents into not knowing what, you know, what they're doing and kind of get away and do this. So the whole movie is kind of them trying to plan this thing out, as well as, you know, on the road and having all kind of bad problems along the way and issues and family problems and arguments and all that kind of stuff. Like I said, that National Lampoon's Vacation kind of vibe type movie. Like I said, I had not seen any of the other movies, but to me, I don't know, I just thought this was a fun movie. It has on here though a making of a scene on here, deleted animation on here because there's some animated sequences in this movie, as well as bloopers and deleted scenes, but definitely a fun movie and cool to see, you know, see Alicia Silverstone playing the mother in this. The next one here, this is one a lot of people were telling me to check out, and this is one from Fox as well, and this is a movie called Gifted. This is about this you know, it's about Chris Evans' character whose niece, you know, his sister had passed away right when the niece was born because she was really depressed and stuff, and, you know, took her own life, and he ended up raising the niece, and it's pretty much about him, and he's raised her now for 7 years, and she's getting ready to go to elementary school, but she's extremely gifted in math and like extremely intelligent. Right when she gets to school, she kind of like, they're doing like math in class and stuff, and they discover how gifted she is with these extreme math problems and can do these kind of things that even the teachers can't do. And then it becomes like a thing at the school because they're like, this is not the right school for your niece. You got to put her in a special school where she can really excel and use her abilities. And he's like, no, I don't want to do that because my family, we had people in it were kind of like snobby, and my mother was kind of snobbish, and I don't want her to feel like she's better than anybody. I want her to just be a regular kid in the school. I don't want her to have this kind of special treatment or any of that kind of stuff. And then it kind of gets back to, you know, the grandmother who Chris Evans' character has not seen in years because they had all these kind of disagreements, and it becomes a huge custody thing that she's trying to take her away from him and, you know, try and put her in a different school, and it becomes this whole custody thing between them about what they're going to do and like what's right for this kid and what's the right decision if she should go to a different school and that kind of stuff. Just a really well done character piece here. It has on here deleted scenes as well as a making of and a featurette on the making of, you know, the location of this one. The next ones here are from the Warner Archive collection. This is one I had heard about a lot and never seen before. It's a Rod Steiger film that he stars in. This is, you know, a Ray Bradbury story. It's called The Illustrated Man, and this is, you know, that has that classic line line, those are not tattoos, they are skin illustrations. Like, if you ever heard anyone say that, this is the movie that those lines are from. And it's basically, though, about Rod Steiger's character, and he has like tattoos from head to toe. He has them all over his arms, his back, his chest, everywhere. And he ends up meeting this guy. It's like kind of a weird meeting. He kind of just meets him out in the middle of nowhere, kind of out by this like lake. And he starts kind of telling him his story. And it's kind of an anthology story a little bit, with like the main characters playing different parts in it, in like the visions of the stories that he's being told. And Rod Steiger's character, when he's showing his tattoos and stuff, he's saying like he's trying to find the woman that tattooed him too, because she kind of vanished, and he's trying to find where her house was, because he's like, one day her house totally vanished. And Rod Steiger's character used to work in the carnival, and then he kind of discovered this tattooing place, and then like he met this woman and she kind of tattooed him, and then he says like, you don't want to look in these tattoos, or you can be like, the things in the tattoos can kind of come to life. And it's kind of him telling him the stories of these tattoos, and some of them take place in the future, and it's like really interesting, kind of like trippy kind of stories. Definitely an interesting one here. It has on here though a featurette on here, as well as a theatrical trailer. And this is another one. I thought I hadn't seen this before, and then I was like, I think I might have, years back. It's a movie John Landis did, the director of American Werewolf in London and Animal House. And it's a movie called Innocent Blood. This is from the Archive collection as well. And this is basically kind of set about, it's like a vampire movie about this vampire woman who, it's basically all set kind of in the mob, and this one guy is kind of undercover in the mob. He's a cop undercover. They're trying to bring down the head mafia guy. And he ends up bumping into this woman. And it's kind of him kind of like having a thing for this woman. He doesn't really know. She's like really mysterious and stuff. But she's actually like taking out members of the mob and kind of biting their neck. And she ends up biting Robert Lagosia's neck. And he ends up, he's like the head of the mob. And he doesn't die. And it's kind of him coming back from the dead as a vampire. And it's kind of these weird things that are happening with him, and him kind of trying to take back over the reign of the mob, but he's like a zombie vampire. I don't know, it's kind of a quirky, dark comedy horror, and a bunch of different people are in here. Like Don Rickles is in this movie, Kim Coates, just like a really early movie for people. Louise Guzman is in this one, but just like one I had never seen before. I don't know for sure if I haven't seen it before. I felt like I'd seen it, but then I was watching it like, I don't know if I've seen it. I couldn't tell. It was one of those ones like, I'm thinking maybe I hadn't or maybe I did. The next one here from Sony is one called, and this is, I actually thought this was funny. This show has like interesting story to what's going on with it too. The wife on this one, from what I've heard, is going to be like written out, or something's going to happen to the character, and then they're going to like have the his love interest from the other show that Kevin James was on, The King of Queens, and she's apparently going to come into the show as his wife or love interest, something like that. But it's a show called Kevin Can Wait, and I think this show, I don't know what channel this show airs on, but it's actually kind of funny to me, to be honest. It's Kevin James, though. He's like was he a cop? He was a cop who's just retired, and he's like kind of trying to figure out what he's going to do after his retirement, and if he might have to get a side job, and he's also like dealing with like kind of finally being at home for the first time, and he's realizing too like things in the house, like furniture and stuff that he had are gone, and he's like starting to kind of notice things. And also his daughter is meets this guy from England that she likes and wants to get married to him, and Kevin James reluctantly says, oh, you guys can both live together in the house. So he's got all these kind of turmoil going on with that, and it's just kind of him with all these kind of problems with his family and house issues and trying to deal with being at home. I kind of like this. Like I said, it's one of those shows that has kind of had some mixed opinions and stuff, and I don't know how they're going to do the second season, because like I said, I believe the wife is going to be out, and then I think Lisa Renna is going to come in, I believe. And it's also on here has a gag reel. But I watched through a bunch of this one and thought this was actually pretty interesting, though. The next one's here. Warner Brothers sent over free copies of these ones to check out. This is the Arrow, the complete 5th season here. Just want to let you guys know that this one is available. And this is actually a pretty fun show. This is one, though, I have not seen that many episodes of this one. I've seen a couple episodes here and there, though. But it's the thing that's kind of cool about these, though, is they all kind of have connections, though, to some of the other, DC shows that they've produced, you know, like Flash and stuff. They all have kind of crossover episodes to them, so it's kind of cool how they do that and kind of combine the characters all together in some of the episodes and stuff. It has on here though, some feature-wise, epic DC superhero crossover event with DC's Legends of Tomorrow, The Flash, and Supergirl, as well as some featurettes on here, Team Arrow, the 2016 Comic-Con panel here, deleted scenes, gag reel on this, and this one here. This is kind of fun. I watched a lot of these ones at the gym. This is the complete first season of Lethal Weapon, and this, you know, stars Damon Wayans, and I always love Damon Wayans, and Damon Wayans does not do too many things. He's really picky with the stuff he does, and I've always, you know, like Blank Man, I don't know, I've just always been a huge fan, you know, Major Payne of Damon Wayans, especially his comedy, and this is kind of the TV version, similar style to the Lethal Weapon films. And this is, you know, Damon Wayans is like a real big cop who's been there, you know, in the force for years, and this guy who kind of comes in and they have to get partnered up together, and it's kind of them, like his partner who comes in is kind of like reckless and kind of doing kind of crazy stuff, and Damon Wayans' character is real like downbeat and chill and doesn't want to kind of have any problems, just kind of wants to get things done. It's kind of them clashing and having to work together and kind of solving cases, and trying to gets the bad guys and all these kind of encounters and issues and stuff. But actually a really fun show though, and I really like them both together. And like I said, I've been a, you know, fan of Damon Wayans for years, and cool to see him back doing something again. And I know this show too got a second season. It has on here though an extended pilot episode on here, as well as a featurette on here, deleted scenes, and a gag reel. And the next one here, I'm going to put links where you guys can get this one. This one is from Tempe, and this is a movie called Safe Inside. And this is basically about this guy whose mother passed away, and he ends up, you know, inheriting the house. And he's kind of, his girlfriend has to go away on business, so he's kind of has to go there and kind of take care of things in the house. And he's like really not in a great state of mind, you know, about, you know, anything that had happened, and about, you know, the way, because his mother was really sick when she died, and his mother's played by Judith O'Dea, you know, from the original Night of the Living Dead, and it's kind of him there trying to kind of get things together and kind of, you know, deal with what he has to deal with after his mother passed away. But when he's in there, though, he starts to kind of like see weird things, and he starts to kind of remember back to the kind of things that had happened with his mother in this house, and it's kind of him like trying to figure out what's going on in this house and trying to kind of keep things together. Brink Stevens is in this film, and she's kind of the neighbor who's kind of coming over to kind of check on him. But it's one of those movies with like a real dark aspect to this stuff, and like what had happened with the mother, and a guy who's dealing with grief on top of like all these odd things going on in the house, like it is his mother from beyond the grave kind of trying to contact him, like what exactly is happening here. But a pretty interesting, pretty creepy movie here. It has on here though a trailer gallery, a director's commentary, and a making of featurette on this one. This one here from Accelerator Media, this is an interesting one, movie called Drifter. This is basically about like these, it's set like in a post-apocalyptic world, kind of has like the feel of like Mad Max, you know, Fury Road, and that kind of like, you know, road type movie. And it's basically, you know, these two brothers who are out trying to survive in this post-apocalyptic world out in the middle of the desert, and they're kind of coming across like weird situations and like bad guys out there and crazy nutcases and stuff trying to survive and kind of trying to, you know, attack them and kill them and all this kind of stuff. And the one brother has kind of got some problems and stuff, and they're kind of trying to deal with all what's happening to them out there, and they end up stumbling into this one weird town where like everybody there is like cannibals and like totally insane and nuts and stuff. And it's kind of them trying to like survive this town and kind of trying to hide out. And I think some of it might have been filmed in like the Salton Sea area, I think, because they filmed it in all these like cool like abandoned weird trailers and stuff. They had some really cool filming locations of this, because it was all, it looked a lot like the Salton Sea where they have all those like trailers and stuff, because they were in all these weird abandoned like broken down like, you know, places and stuff, and they were kind of like hiding out and like getting attacked and people coming after them. Like I said, it definitely has that kind of Road Warrior Mad Max kind of vibe to this one here. The next one here from Full Moon. This is an interesting one. This is Puppet Master: The Legacy, and this is not exactly like a it's like there's only a little bit of new footage in this one. It's about this woman that talks to this guy trying to talk about the creator of, you know, the puppets and stuff, and it's basically sort of like flashbacks to scenes from the other films. So it's kind of like this guy telling the story of the Puppet Master, and kind of like you see like clips and like cuts back to scenes and stuff from the other films and stuff. I mean, it's not, like I said, it's not like a full movie because it's a lot of old footage and stuff you had seen before. But people, if you're a completist to Puppet Master films, it's kind of an interesting thing to see. I can't wait though for whenever they release the one that had, because I know this was, I think it was a little after this, or maybe before, I don't know for certain, the one that had Corey Feldman in it. That was the one I had not seen in years though. Like I said, if you guys are fans of Puppet Master, it's another one too though. Like pieces of the movie though are only in standard definition because like some of the film negatives have been lost. But still though, cool to see this all together. And if you guys are fans of all the Puppet Master films though, completionist sakes though, you know, that's definitely cool though to have that one on Blu-ray. This one here from MVD. This is an interesting concept to a movie. It's a movie called Mammaboy. It's basically though about this kid who is dating the preacher's daughter, and they're in senior year, and she ends up getting pregnant, and she's like really paranoid about the father, and if the father finds out about this, what's she gonna do, and like how she's gonna go to school. And this kid has this like nutty uncle who's like doing these weird experiments and stuff, and he's like, oh, I've transplanted this monkey here is going to have a baby, this male monkey's going to have a baby because of the thing that I've done. And they kind of come up with this scheme of going and like trying to implant the baby into his body, so he ends up carrying the baby, and then this girl, his girlfriend, doesn't get in trouble or get found out for any of this. So it's this kind of has the feel of like Junior a little bit, about this pregnant boy, and they have like him growing and having morning sicknesses and all that kind of stuff. Stanley Stephen Tobolowsky, from a bunch of, great character actor. I always think of him from Dr. Jekyll and Mrs. Hyde. He's in this movie. Gary Busey's in this movie. It has on here, though, a featurette on the premiere of this one. But kind of fun movie here, though. It sort of has, like, the feel of Junior a little bit. This one here is from MVD as well. And it's a movie which is kind of cool to see Vanessa Angel again, because she was in Kingpin. It's a movie called Lycan, and Vanessa Angel plays the teacher, this college professor who is like having the kids work on this class assignment. And they all kind of get paired up together and have to work on this project together, and they all kind of don't really want to have to work together, and they're all like, oh, we gotta do this project together, and they end up kind of going and looking into like legends of the town, and they all talking about kind of ideas about what they could do and stuff. And they come across this legend about like these werewolf kind of legend in the past, and they're all like, oh yeah, that's not true and stuff like that. And they're all like, well, that could be an interesting assignment here to see if maybe there's any truth to this, and kind of look into all this and see what all it means. So of course they end up going out to the woods to kind of research it, to work on this project and document the whole thing. And then of course they get out there, and then they end up messing with things, and then something ends up happening. It's kind of like a werewolf thing about them getting killed off and stuff out there, but kind of a fun movie here. Like I said, cool to see too Vanessa Angel in another film. The other actress too was in a couple of the people from a bunch of different stuff in this one. But, and also, too, it was set in the 80s, too, so it was kind of cool, too. It had, I think it was, 86 or something like that. It has on here, though, a bunch of different cast interviews on here. Interview with the director, as well as a panel discussion with the Lycan movie producers. But pretty fun, werewolf movie here. This one here, from MVD as well, is a movie called Forest of Mystery. And this is, it's like a found footage movie about, a group of these kids that were, these two guys that were doing a documentary about this, kind of where the one guy worked. They were doing weird experiments and stuff with bugs and stuff, and they were finding weird types of creatures of bugs out in these woods, and they end up going out there to kind of try and document it. And right when they go out there, they see something weird happen, like something throws something at one of the guys, and it's kind of a Blair Witch Project kind of thing, done that found footage style, about them going out there and trying to look in the mysteries out in these woods and figure out exactly what is going on out there with these bugs, and what also too what this place is doing these weird type of experiments, and what exactly are they up to out there. But kind of fun found footage movie here. This one here from Worldwide Multimedia. This is an interesting one. I thought this was going to be a thing about trick-or-treating or something, but this is something you would play at a Halloween party or something like that, in the background, or if you were in a Halloween store, they would probably have something like this on. It's kind of it's two 60-minute things here about Vampire Legacy, and then about history of vampires and stuff. But it's basically almost just pictures and like creepy images and like creepy music and stuff of like Halloween type things. So it's almost like a clip show of like photos and stuff like that of like Halloween type stuff on this one. But like I said, this is more of like something you kind of have for like Halloween and stuff, like for the background and stuff like that. And these two ones I just want you guys know are available here. This one from SRS Cinema, and this one that you guys know, this movie's called Cannibal Cop, and I have like a fun little cameo of this one at the end credits of this one. But it's basically about this crazy cannibal, cop who's going around killing like women, killing all these people, and it's kind of them trying to stop the guy. But like I said, I have a cameo in this one. This has on here a commentary track on here with the director. Donald Farmer directed this one. He's directed throughout the years a lot of like, classic like indie cult horror films. And then I want to let you guys know this is available as well from, Wild Eye Releasing. This is the collection of all the Caesar and Otto horror films together. Paranormal Halloween, Deadly Xmas, Summer Camp Massacre. And then it also has the fourth movie here, which had never been released before, the very first Caesar and Otto film. But Paranormal Halloween and Deadly Xmas, me and Brendan Mitchell both are in both of those movies. We have fun little cameos. Deadly Xmas, I think I play like a director in that one, directing this movie. And then Paranormal Halloween, I like work at this like kind of weird factory, kind of office building kind of place. But a lot of like cool horror actors are in these films as well. But this one that you guys know, this is available if you guys don't have these movies. And just really fun movies, especially Summer Camp Massacre too. I always really like that one. But this one, that one is available now as well. But anyway, guys, that's all for the review portion of this video. Thanks again for watching and subscribing, and I'll see you guys later.